Hello and welcome to another moment in time with me, ZG. How have you guys been? It's been quite a while since the last video has been created, and I would like to know how you are doing. This time around, I would want to talk about the expression, the word, the experience of stillness. The key word being stillness. What does it mean? How does it resonate with you? How do we experience it? And what does it essentially mean to us as in mental and spiritual health and growth and personal growth, just in the oneness of the universe, dare I say so myself. So, shall I start out with a personal story, personal experience with this? Going from the very current events, which is me moving around all the furniture in my room and just changing things up after years and years and whatnot, just being busy, active, proactive, just being really busy and working hard for days on end for a little while. I have been feeling very stressed. I still tend to feel stressed these days, to be honest, but I've been pressuring myself to just keep being productive, keep being the best that I can be, do everything that I possibly can on one day, be hyper just everywhere a little bit, reach out to all the things, do various different things, do everything on like as if the world was burning, as if I had a deadline for every single thing. And I have been pressuring myself subconsciously, basically pressuring myself to be better, to be just the best version of myself, incidentally pretty much hindering myself, basically slowing myself down with, in a way, burning out is what I want to say. So this term, the stillness, came into mind, and it very much made me reflect on myself, how very much I have been neglecting the stillness. Just take it, what does it mean? So from there, let's go with what stillness is. Stillness is essentially peace of mind, or just the calmness within us. A shocking revelation, something that has helped me this particular week, right in these times, most of all, is the revelation. Let me go just a little bit back on there. I want to stress that just the fact that the example that I explained, of me personally, or just us all, we can generalize this a little bit. We are constantly, as a human species, we are, as human beings, human doings, we are rather, in these times in particular, we are much more inclined to always being lost, very much lost in the mindset of always do something, achieve something, consume something, produce something, be proactive, keep working, be the best that it can be better, bigger, brighter, higher, just always pushing ourselves, right? And in my opinion, that is a major concern, can become a major concern. I do want to stress that neither, I want to focus on the example of the balance of being and doing. One of the two modal verbs, that's the two most used verbs in all languages, do and be, right? Or just have and be is right. Or anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, just do and be. In a world, in a time where do is pretty much the only option available, so to say, we tend to neglect very much just being. And I want to stress that I want to refocus ourselves on a little bit more on the term just being is enough. Sometimes just being yourself, being in tune with yourself, loving yourself, being in the very moment is enough, and it's much more beneficial than doing all sorts of things at one time, right? So I want to emphasize the balance between do and be. I want to just point out that I agree. I want to just make clear that we need both terms. We cannot just be. and we cannot just do, right? We need to find the balance. Much like in most areas of life, in all areas of life, essentially, we as a human being, as a human species, as a soul inside a body, as a mind, heart, everything, we tend to forget, actually, that we strive naturally, spiritually, inherently. We strive towards balance. That's what I'm trying to stress here. So neither being is good or beneficial. Essentially, we need to find balance. So in a world where we tend to do all sorts of things, we are just doing all the crazy stuff. How are we feeling? How are we in the moment, right? How do we feel? How often do you actually stop and ask yourself in the moment, how am I feeling? How am I right now, for example, right? That is one I want to stress. So therein comes to mind a statement, an epiphany, a fact, basically. At this point, yes, it's a fact, a hard fact that has helped me personally in these trying times, in the times of restlessness and just unease and burning out and pushing myself. Was the acquisition, the learning of the fact that basically the affirmation. I have just used an affirmation. I'm beating around the bush so much, but that is because English is not my first language, in case it's not apparent. That's an excuse. Canceling myself all the way. The affirmation that has helped me a lot these days was, we are not our thoughts. Neither are we our emotions. We are not even our memories. We are not our bodies. We are not our minds. We are not just humans. We are every one of these things combined and more, right? It's not just. So that statement resonated strongly with me. I am not my thoughts. Affirm that to yourself just right now. Repeat after me. I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. How does that make you feel? You are not your anger. You are not your stress. You are not the worry. You are not the deadline. Our thoughts and emotions don't as much only affect us as much as we give them power to, as much as we focus on them, right? That is a thing we tend to forget in the world, in the constant strife of doing. That is normal. That is normal. That is what happens. That's a fact. That's nothing bad. That's nothing bad. It can be fixed. It can get bad if it stays like that, right? So just doing constantly, yes, overdoing things tends to let us forget that we are not our thoughts and emotions. Where do thoughts inherently come from? Have you ever asked yourself that? Where do my emotions come from? Are you thinking, I want to feel this, and then you immediately feel that feeling, or just I'm going to think about this, and this, and this? That almost never happens, right? Thoughts are just come and go. They just arise from nothing and then fade into nothing, and therein lies the peace of mind. The thing we can all use to return to the stillness, to return our inner stillness in times of hectic, in times of stress, and just overdoing things. Thoughts can just pass on. Only as much focus, attention that you give to them, so much power they have, right? And if you just let them arise and pass without much tension or affection, or just redirecting your focus, that's all they're gonna be. They're just gonna be thoughts much like balloons or clouds up in the sky. They're there, but they're passing. They're gonna pass away. Just following that one. You can be the observer, or you should be the observer in such cases. Negative thoughts. That one looks like a cloud. Oh, that one looks like anger. That one looks like sadness, and then it just poofs away. Right? That is as simple as. Being the observer essentially ties into the stillness. So the stillness, in my own terms, is like the stillness goes in tandem with our soul, I want to say. So if we are not our thoughts, if we are not our emotions. We are actually the awareness behind the being behind those things, right? We are essentially also a soul. A soul is a next step after. First it's the being, and then I'd say it's the soul, and then it splits into thoughts and emotions and everything else, for example, if you can, if you want to visualize it for yourself. So stillness goes, for me personally, goes hard hand in hand with the soul. So the soul, ourselves, our oneness with the universe, just all of creation, experiencing these things. And that stillness is always, and I do mean always, it is timeless, present within ourselves, deep inside. So with the help of just the affirmation, essentially, I am not my thoughts, I am not my emotions, there lies a great pathway towards the inner stillness that is always within us. The space of calmness, of peace, of almost, I want to say, absolution, just being absolute, being balanced in a moment, just being in the moment, just being alive and in the moment. That is all. That is, oftentimes that is enough, and that is the place from where all the doings take most effect from. All the doings take most benefit from. If you're doing too much, you can always return to the stillness and just gradually ramp up the doing as well, right? You don't, once you're way too high, way too upfront with doing, you can always return to the stillness, and then gradually from there, it's much easier to start up from the stillness and gradually increase the doing, rather than doing too much and then trying to lower it ever so slightly. You can just let that go, return to the stillness, and just ramp up slowly and keep up the balance around the level of which you want to do, right? So that is pretty much the answer, the topic of stillness, I would want to say. Some more aspects to stillness. For example, we need to take, basically, like I said, like I've been saying, we need to take a moment to stop ourselves and just connect with a place that is free of the endless chatter of the mind and the endless riveting emotions that just come and go, right? So some practical examples, some exercises that you can use, that you can put into practice to return to the stillness, to be more in tune with your own inner stillness, include just mainly stem from these days from mindfulness. Just mindfulness exercises is a great all-rounder. You can just tune into your senses. That is a simple tactic. Just focus on one sense at a time. For example, just feeling like the touch, feeling on the sight, looking at things, and focusing on all the details you can see, focusing on all the details of something you can hear, something you can taste and touch, right? That is a simple exercise. Another practical example is do everything slowly. Just do one thing slowly. Take it easy, take it slow. It might be, for example, if you're working with a computer or just typing something out loud and you just constantly keep typing some text and typing, try typing out every word a little bit slower. Just slow it down. Even simpler than that, drinking or eating. Take a sip slower. Don't just chug down everything that you have in the glass. Just sip slowly, right? That is another great and easy way to just reconnect with the moment. Just keep it simple, mindful, right? Another example is breath exercises. Just witnessing your breath. You don't even have to control your breath. Just take into account your breathing. Feel your body, feel your chest, feel your stomach area, feel your lungs, and the actual travel of the breath, right? Just be mindful of it. Just be aware of it. That is all you need to do. It's as simple as that. There are a ton of such simple mindfulness exercises. I can probably link an article down below as well, or just you can look it up. There's gonna be a lot of things. I'm looking if I see one more. Spend more time in nature. Of course, go for a walk. Just immerse yourself in nature. Nature is always vibrant. There's always something you can you can experience there. And in itself, nature is just fluid. Sometimes just standing in like a park, standing on grass, wherever in nature, just drains you of your negativity, just energetically, purely. You don't even have to do anything. It helps if you're mindful, if you just take a breath and the exercise that we just described, it helps even more, so much purge the stress and tension, right? But just spending time in nature is more than enough. Of course, meditation always. And one more aspect that I personally take great account to, that an aspect that I personally practice as often, as frequently as I possibly can, gratitude. Gratitude is the practice of, it's probably the most pinpointing thing you can experience, because gratitude is always and only ever in the present moment. So this is only, it only exists, gratitude exists only in the present moment. So it's a perfect mindfulness tool. Just take into account the things you are grateful for in the very moment. It can be as simple as that you are healthy, that you are able to breathe normally, that you still have normal eyesight, that you have a roof over your head. All the little things, the gratitude of being able to hear my voice right now, the gratitude of being able to have an internet connection to watch this video from. All those things count. Just really feel them. Just like take a moment to just step back, observe, get into the stillness, essentially inadvertently, and just experience gratitude. So that is that's probably the simplest, in my opinion, the simplest aspect to it, and the most powerful at the same time. So there is that. With those great examples of practical mindfulness, it's safe to say to conclude the topic of the stillness. And yes, just stillness is the peace of mind, the inner peace we tend to strive for. It is a place within ourselves. It's never going to be outside. It is always with us, ever and always, and we can always tap into it if we just allow ourselves to let go, frankly, let go like balloons of our mind, of our thoughts, of our emotions, just return more so to our inner being. With that being said, my friends, thank you very much for watching this wonderful video. If you learned something new, if something resonated, anything resonated with you at any point in time, please do let me know in the comments below, anywhere. You can reach at me on the social media, as always, links are everywhere, wherever you want to click on them. Do you practice any mindfulness techniques? How was your experience? What have you, did you have any epiphanies? Did you have any special moments within stillness or just mindfulness exercises? I would love to know your stories, because these stories uplift, and these, in my opinion, these kinds of stories pretty much hold the world up in the times of crisis. Most likely right now, they keep us afloat, and they do mean a lot to me, and they connect people like I'm trying to do here as well. That is that. Yeah, click on the links. Social media always welcome if you have any questions, opinions, and do join us live sometimes. We play a lot of different video games, do these kinds of videos live on stream at twitch.tv/zg_killit. I would love to get to know you and just your opinion on all of these topics. I would want to discuss these things live while doing something, just leisure activities, right? And I would love to have you for it. Thank you very much one more time for watching this at any point in time. I do certainly hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I do hope you can return, always and ever, are able to return to the stillness within yourself. And I certainly hope to see you at any other moment in time.